I want to talk to you for a second. The Pentagon's UFO chief, this is a Pentagon guy, a UFO chief, the chairman of Harvard's astronomy department as well, both releasing a report on Tuesday where they wrote an artificial interstellar object could potentially be a parent craft that releases many small probes during its close passage to Earth. You've got the Pentagon talking about the idea of a mothership going above us and sending probes down.
So this is one of the big reasons why it's good to know where you're at, what the Bible actually says about creation, and what natural science actually proves about creation, which is that Earth is not moving, that Earth has no curvature, and when you get more into it, that we are covered and surrounded by a dome, the firmament. One of the scientific ways to know that is that gas pressure, you cannot have gas pressure without a cover. You cannot. And that's what our atmosphere is. It's pressurized. So you must have a container to contain that pressure. Everything that they tell us about cosmology is lies, and now they're telling us, and they've been conditioning people, telling us that, aliens are coming, and aliens exist from outer space, right? Billions of light years away, which doesn't exist. And the Bible clearly debunks all this. In Genesis chapter 1, it says that the sun, the moon, and the stars are inside the firmament. They're in the firmament, very close, very local. In Psalms chapter 19, verse 6, it says that the sun goes from one end of the heaven to the other. It talks about the movement of the sun around, across the earth, not the earth around the sun. Joshua chapter 10 talks about God stopping the sun and the moon, but it does not say that God stopped the earth from moving, because earth isn't moving. That's why Joshua 10 doesn't say that God stopped the earth. And that story makes absolutely no sense if everything is flying through space. Because if God stopped the sun and the moon, but not the earth, then the earth would just fly away. So all this is easily debunked by the Bible. It's just that the programming, the brainwashing, the lies are so deep. It's taught in every school in America at least. And here we are with the strong delusion at hand. Also in Genesis chapter 1, it says that the firmament that covers the earth is called heaven. And in Isaiah 40, it says that it covers the earth as a tent for us to dwell in. The earth cannot be covered by the firmament as a tent if earth is this ball flying through space. Water doesn't stick to spinning balls, especially ones that are flying through outer space at 500,000 miles an hour. It's totally ridiculous. It is totally insane, the lies that we have been taught. But this is a big thing, because all the schools teach this. It should show you that the Bible is true when it says that Satan is the god of this world, that he blinds the minds of them that believe not. And all these supposed rapture watchers, almost none of them talk about true biblical cosmology. I remember talking to one, pastor. They like the names, right? Pastor, whatever. And I explained to him, and I showed him in the Bible, less than 5 minutes, that earth is stationary and flat and covered with the firmament. And what he said to me was, well, what does it matter? Why do I care if it's flat or if it's stationary or covered with the firmament? And I couldn't help but, be completely disgusted, because these people call themselves pastors. And then you prove the truth of the Bible to them, and they don't even care. At least that guy didn't. And so that's where we're at, folks. That's where we're at. And so what happens? You get this whole idea of aliens from outer space. Stupid nonsense that is a total lie, and that is going to deceive the unbelieving world, and has deceived much of the believing Christians. And why? Well, because they say, what does it matter? Who really cares? Why do I care? That's what he said to me. It makes me sick, man. And a lot of people think that they might use this UFO alien thing to explain away the rapture. And that could very well be possible. But regardless, we are supposed to know that, do you want to go to heaven and be, asked by God, why did you believe all these lies? And do you want to leave the work that you leave here on earth to everybody who's left behind? Do you want them to see your videos and just drag them farther into deception because you're not telling them the truth about what is actually going on? So here we are at the very end. They are about to roll out the alien deception to the whole world. They've been conditioning people to believe this nonsense through movies, television programs, even in schools they talk about it sometimes. And now it's actually on the news quite a bit. And they're going to use it on the world in some way, shape, or form, whether it's to explain away the rapture or whether it's to take control of the whole earth and people give up their freedoms to a higher power, which would be aliens, quote unquote, aliens, whatever, fallen angels and bad people working with them, whatever the case may be. But they're going to use it. And so, many Christians who have a lot of viewers are just helping them. They're just helping the enemy by not telling people the truth about cosmology so that they can know that what is going on is Hollywood. That's what it is.
Hello, Earth. I'm Alec Baldwin, TV star. They say TV will rot your brain. That's absurd. TV only softens the brain like a ripe banana to take it all the way. We've created Hulu. Hulu beams TV directly to your portable computing devices, giving you more of the cerebral gelatinizing shows you want anytime, anywhere, for free. I only act out because I want your love. Dynamite! Mushy mush. And the best part is there's nothing you can do to stop it. I mean, what are you going to do, turn off your TV and your computer? Once your brains are reduced to a cottage cheese like mush, we'll scoop them out with a melon bowler and gobble them right on up. Oops. I think I'm drooling a little. Because we're aliens. And that's how we roll. Hulu, an evil plot to destroy the world. Enjoy.